Hi, welcome to my tube. I'm Marge, I'm Hailke Empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. We'll see how long I can handle this hat. Felt like wearing my cap. Like to represent. People wear hats and shirts and things like that, things they represent. I was packing some stuff up, clearing some shelves, and this was sitting on it, and I had to dust all the dust off of it. It says Heilman Dog Park. Doesn't really fit. Oh, can't be having that. Can't be looking a mess. People might be watching. Anyway, I just found out something kind of weird. You see, everyone in my family was always just mad and quiet and estranged, kind of. But when we were growing up, on Dad's side, we all like played cards. There was a big game playing family. I learned how to play chess when I was probably 3-4 years old, just because I was the little robot, the little Energizer bunny, and my brother liked to play chess, so he taught me how to play, because I wouldn't stop. I would just, and I was just thinking it's fun, and I'd try this and try that, and so he got real good, to his advantage. He's the same guy, though, that when Trivial Pursuit came out, he'd spend a lot of time reading both sides of the cards. Virgos just like to be well informed. Doesn't matter the means in which they get their information. They're shadow aspects, like everybody is ego. What are you gonna do? Anyway, I was kind of tripping out, and I was thinking about my grandpa, Butch Hessick, Clarence, C.W. Anyway, some of the story goes, when I looked up, I just Googled, Hessick, Atascadero. That's where this is a dog park, is in Atascadero. My father contributed to the planning and development and whatnot of this dog park. I don't even know if it still exists. That was years ago. But anyway, so I looked it up, and today's is my grandpa's birthday. He would have been, 110. He was born in 1910. And I just looked up his name, and it just gives little facts to and if you look up anybody's name, it does, because it's his obituary, and it's 1910 to 1996 world events. I'm just going to read a couple. I'm not going to read a lot, because I hate when people just read stuff. I don't like it, because I'm not a reader. That's why I do videos. I don't like reading. So 1910, the year he was born, was the Mexican Revolution. And I encourage everybody to look at your own path, too. What happened the year you were born, in the years of things that's significant, like if your parents got divorced and stuff like that. Other things that are happening in the world. This is how you figure out your astrology. Or you verify your astrology. Anyway, in 1938, by the time this person was 28, on June 25th, the Fair Labor Standard Act was signed into law by President. That's when the Unfair Labor Act, you mean? That's when it all began. Oh shit! The act. It banned oppressive child labor, but all those organizations that they created to protect the children actually seems, is what we're finding out, has been putting the children in harm's way. Are all the children saved yet? I saw that was trending in California. Save them all, because you creepy pervs are being busted out. Anyway, 1984, this person was 74 years old. And that's when the baby bells were created. AT&T had been the provider of telephone service and equipment in the United States. And now that's all split all to hell. Look where that's splintered off. How that's gone crazy. And then I'll just read the last one. In the 1996, the year he died, on July 5th, the first cloned mammal, Dolly the sheep, was born in Scotland. She had 3 mothers. Dolly lived to be 6 years old and produced 6 lambs. Wonder how many people they've cloned at this point. Other sheep have been cloned as well as horses, pigs, deer, and bulls. And if you don't think they're cloning people, then you didn't ever hear the interview that Sandra Bullock chick, when she talked about having baby foreskins injected into her face to look so youthful. But it's not real, baby. It's not real. So what? Are they dolling people to make freaking beautiful elixirs that only the rich people can afford? And so that's why they gotta sell $10,000 freaking pillows and stuff so you can afford that not real body part elixir to make yourself. I could not kiss somebody if I knew that they had that in their face. They're not pretty to me. If I knew so, I don't put anything on my face. Soap, water. My skin's pretty okay. I got a zit. I got a gnarly zit. But I've been eating an extra yesterday, because since all these bombings, I feel like I'm taking electronic hits, like energetic hits for the earth, with the earth. Because there's freaking 6 of them, man. And it's the astrology, and we're not done. The week ain't over. Because all the bureaucrats took all the money for themselves, and they didn't fix the infrastructure, and stuff got sat. And now gas lines, stockpiles of poison just in a warehouse from a good old boy club, deal. Take this off my hands. All right, cool. Got to offload this off the ship to put the kids on in the shipping containers instead, and then they didn't keep track of how much product got piled up and stuff like that. It's karma. Nothing just happens for no reason. I mean, people do stuff, and if you do shady stuff, your whole freaking life's going to come back to you. One thing when I was reading about my grandpa, I'll give you a little facts about my actual granddad, whose birthday was today. Not just what happened during his life. He actually lived through polio. He had polio. It's another. See, they've been freaking making shit up in a lab for a long time. And then they make the vaccines, and then the vaccines are all so much more harmful. Yeah, they might fix you, because placebo, if you believe something's going to work, it's going to work. They might fix you for a minute, right? But the thing is they put formaldehyde. That's what has heightened, my sensitivity, is because I got freaking 6 anthrax shots. They give you 8, but I was for some reason I don't think I got the last 2. I don't know, gotta look at my shot record. I gotta go and get my gas. Gotta look at my shot record. They're upstairs. I know I got 6, and they freaking put formaldehyde in it, because I remember getting those shots in the arm and going, you know what? Asking the nurse, I'm like, I have been shot and injected. I've had 2 glucose tolerance tests before I was 9 years old. So taking blood, it's just, I know how to take shit. I know how to take pain and just suck it. I know how to do all that. So, but I even addressed the nurse, and I said, you know what? With all the freaking stuff I've had done to my body in my life, that is the most painful thing. It was just a 4.5 earthquake in Timor. 12 meters, that's shallow. But nothing, but that felt like when I was a kid and I got stung by a yellow jacket between my shoulder blades. And she was like, oh, that's because they store it in formaldehyde. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, they store it in formaldehyde to keep the shelf life to last longer. I'm like, formaldehyde goes in dead people. And she's like, yeah, but, they've got to prolong it so it can sit on the shelf longer so they can put it in people. It's all poison. And they did the same thing. Look at what they did. Look at what they did with Agent Orange. Look at Agent Orange and how that impacted men that were, the Vietnam vets. And they're I see them at the in the vet in the VA, and they got neurological endocrine issues, And I'm like, shit, I hope that's not me. Because I'm already get droppy and stuff like that, but I thought maybe that, we're all energetic too, and sometimes you just, you don't vibe with stuff, and, I'm an electronic slider, a lot of people are, like, they're like, same kind of people that, like, break watches, people that can't wear watches, their energy field is too strong, and they just stop time, time doesn't work with them, literally. It's our magnetic fields, and people are waking up to it. So, I was looking earlier when I was like, I'll start talking to myself before I start recording. Sometimes, like, just getting the right mindset kind of thing. Because it's not easy to just talk to yourself, to nobody. It's really not. But I've had a lot of practice being alone, and I talk with Mom, too, so. Anyway, then I was like, oh my god, I'm getting jowls. I'm starting to get jowls, Because I'm starting to get older. I'm 46. And so I was like, that's what I get for hanging out with basset hounds, is that, how people look like their pets? It's funny, because I noticed that sometimes spouses do that too. When they're lacking diversity, have you met those people? It's like, you're wondering, you gotta ask, I gotta ask questions to determine if they're married or if they're siblings. Because people really are so, like, lacking scope. They really do like just fucking themselves. They really do. I know it. I was in a karmic person with this person for 8 years. And she and her spouse, like, look like each other, only female, male version, 20 years apart. It's freaking, I'm like, do they not see? I mean, it's like, what do people see and what do people not see? It's so weird. Like, all the creepy, pervy stuff, I know it. I was deflowered, for lack of a better term, when I was 10 months old. So I know, I grew up, and when I was like in junior high, I always heard people whisper about it and stuff like that, but it just, I'm like, what the fuck are they talking, And then I read the police report when I was in like junior high, and so, well, of course, I don't have a, I remember things from the time I was 2 years old, and some, and things like that. But we're not, on a cellular level, I'm not the same person that I was then. Spiritually, I'm definitely, well, I don't know, I might be closer. Because babies, that's why babies are so pure with their essence. Because they are that close to source. And that's why the creeper-tins like to take the essence of a baby, because they are that close to source. Because their spirit just came from source. That's God, cosmic, whatever, call it whatever you want. I don't care. It's, people don't even gotta agree with me. This is just how I see it. Is that when we take our first breath and we become animated, that first breath is our spirit, and then we learn to live in life, to live more from our spirit. But sometimes people get the taste of blood and then take the route of to live more for ego. I was watching, before I started this talk, I was watching Don't Drink the Kool-Aid. My God, you make my goofy face smile. Don't drink the Kool-Aid too, and don't, because they get grounded. They get stuff like dinged, and then then they get their channel shut off. They get their proverbial wiener smack. No, you gotta play nice. You gotta play by the rules. See, if there's always somebody in charge, I'm never gonna win. And people, like, they're never gonna win too. But, well, they're winning more than me, but they crack me up. Go check them out and see, like in memes, and their memes and stuff like that are freaking funny. That's why I like memes, and because you can't, AI can't track, because it has humor, and it can't track frame of reference, so it doesn't understand why that's funny to so many people, because you can't track lines of thinking. AI hasn't yet. I'm hoping they don't. I mean, there you can do potentials and things like that, but human beings always have free will, and a lot of them zig when you think they're going to zag. And I thought, I don't know, one of my favorite parts is seeing how people are reacting to old Hanks' freaking star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That dude's a creepy creeperton, a creepville USA. See, and I just watch his movies, but for a long time I was in college, and I was like, you know, hanging out with other girls and having life, and I was way more social, so I wasn't paying attention to how people were acting, like, you know, like all that stuff. And since I've been made to go within, I've been studying a lot of people, a lot of their behavior, and you can tell who's gone more into their ego, and then who's going more into and sending more into their spirit. You can tell who the juicy chrome drinkers and who are the, you know, the fienders are, and you can tell who the vampires are, and you can tell who the vampires are. I mean, it's starting to get where things just don't even surprise you anymore, who the wicked are, you know? Let's see. Since things are going to get so I like to do things different than what everyone else is doing. And what I'm going to do when I go out in the world, and if I meet somebody that I don't agree with, I'm going to try and find a common denominator with them, and try to de-escalate any situation. That's going to be a little personal challenge that I have for myself, because things are just escalating at a very, very expeditious, freaking like crazy way. I was at the laundromat today. I stopped off. I went out to get some flour, make some butter tomorrow, and wanted to go see my. Oh, and I took Luna to get her nails done, and had a pretty cool exchange there, and it's a nice productive day. So it was late. I wasn't. My friend only had an hour left on her shift, so I wasn't going to do laundry or anything. But I wanted to stop in and say hey, and just clear my head and stuff, and see how she was doing. That's what makes me feel better when I check. That's why I always have one-sided conversations with people, because I'm just wondering how they're doing, and hopefully they'll let me know. But usually people don't answer because they're busy, and I understand that. Shoot, things are so weird right now. Most of the time the messages aren't even getting through. I get blocked too, though, so I don't know. The way people receive me, I understand it's on them. But my train of thought just derailed. I just thought that was weird that today was my grandpa's birthday, and I never really knew it in real life. I knew he was a Leo, but I didn't know what day it was, and then I just happened to look it up, and I was like, what do you know? I never inherited anything from my grandma. My grandma was in real estate, you know, so I've been tracking real estate and development and all that stuff since I was a little girl. I've been looking at the structure of things, everything about it, because I was, you know, we always had to go to open houses, and, you know, sometimes they had a pool, and I got to swim. My grandma would show it, you know, stuff like that, you know, and so I always have been putting an idea of a house in my mind, you know, since I was a little girl. But anyway, before I get too far off, and then, but it's funny, that's why I like that movie American Beauty, because I thought that was one of the best representations of a real estate agent that I've ever seen, because a lot of them were like Capricorns. I think my grandma's a Sagittarius, and they're just the driven, just control freak, neurotic, life's falling apart, wants to make it look perfect, all that stuff. I'm just like, oh my god, it is so, it just was so on point, because that was my grandma too. And that's when I got into tech and stuff, you know. I used to play Spy and frickin', you know, and get smart with the computer tech gadgets and stuff in her office, because she had an office on El Camino Real right down there, Tascadero, and they had like lawyers in the office and other, so I'd go hang out and just imagine, because I mean, what else is a freaking 7-year-old kid gonna do in a real estate office? It's funny because anyway, E-News is done. There's a timeline ending. E-News is ending after 29 years. Look at all the timelines ending. Look at all the stuff that is ending right now. It's like all of these worlds are ending. How people how they thought that they were gonna be. There's so many ideas of how, so many different versions of the world on which they thought that the world was gonna be. Like, there's a way I thought my life was gonna be. I thought I would have been like in a committed, loving relationship by now. Cohabitating in a kind and loving relationship. I'm not anywhere. Well, I'm not where I thought I would be, much at all. But it hasn't been my time, too, and thank goodness I started looking into my chart and astrology many years ago, when my life stopped when I moved here, because I would have probably gone crazy. So I got some questions. I've been wondering that. When people say, "You're crazy," I know it's like everything else. Beauty, it's in the eye of the beholder. But really, what constitutes crazy? Because people have said, "Margie, you're crazy your whole entire life." Well, my dad worked at the Atascadero the Atascadero State Mental Hospital. And at that hospital, that was where they put that's in criminally insane people. That's where they're probably locking away people that know shit. That's what they're probably doing there, but it's closed years ago. Since Geraldo did all his stuff in the 80s. Let all the people that need, the extra sensitives out on the street, But anyway, don't want to get too far sidetracked. Anyway, so I have known about, and I always understood crazy people are people that cause harm to themselves or other, that hurt people. And I know plenty of people that are in positions of authority that hurt people. Because hurting people can be as mundane as hindering people. And then I think about the 536 people that sit in Congress and Senate, and they count for a minimum between their pay wages $92 million for 535 people, seats, that work maybe a third of the year. And if you break it down, some of them make more, but they all make $170,000, I believe, $140,000, either or. It's fucking twice as much than I've ever made. And I've worked a lot harder than them, I guarantee it, because lawyers don't work hard. No. The paralegals and whatnot, they work hard, but the lawyers are puppets. And they just get paid to create cognitive dissonance. I know this. My brother is one. He is one of those that likes that his office passes notes. That's what I call passing notes, like little love letters. Remendum. Edit this. Change this. Blah 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 blah. Send it back. Nope. Not happy with it. That's all they do is pass notes. It's adorable. You pay themselves tens and thousands, and now they're not. People are the cracks of society are getting wider. Yes, indeed, the cracks of society are getting wider. But what you're going to find out in these cracks of society, that is where the creation is going to come from. Because that is when people grow. Is like the little seed in the darkness. When things get dark and things get uncomfortable, that is when a seed germinates in the dark. And so all this darkness, all this pain, all this strife that's been caused from like people losing their jobs all over the place, right? But look what's going on. Look what's going on in your local cities. I live in Salem, Oregon. I live in the state capital. I look at all the high schools that are getting like completely renovated. They don't even know if school's going to be in section, but hey, they are rebuilding them. All the buildings downtown, all the ones that are getting demolished, they're going to get rebuilt. But the people, more and more families are like moving into apartments, and more communal living is happening. Necessity, because there's a guy on my Facebook feed I went to high school with, and he was like, "What's a parent supposed to do, man? There's no school anymore. Like, what are we supposed to do? We can't go to work anymore? Yeah, what are we supposed to do with our kids?" I'm like, ain't that a bitch? Because I had that experience, but I'm a daughter. I got nobody to help me. My brother that I talked about, yeah, we haven't talked in a couple years, or at least a year, because he's an ass. Because the last thing I said to him when he said, because he pushed an issue, he didn't respect my boundary again. So I matched that. And he said, "You haven't worked in 2 years." And I've been like keeping myself from having a nervous breakdown to look out for Ma, getting our toilet water from the creek, fighting the city, not understanding why anybody isn't understanding and listening to me. Like, why? Where is the logic? I have 7 business cards from people that would come and look at the project and show. I'm like, can you explain why my water usage went up and I can't pay the bill? And they're just like, go get a handout from the church. Go get, they're just like, nobody was trying to help me. And then, so I was like, I have to feed my dogs. So I quit paying the water bill. And then by the time I logged in back to my account, my water bill was over $1,300. And I'm like, for fucking what? I haven't had water in 3, I'm just like, oh, they're all bureaucrats. They're little bitches. And they're all fat, too. They're all fat. If I could see one city employee that came out that was thin. No, this one bioenvironmentalist, she used to come out and take, look at the fish with she and her Oregon State degree, probably makes $80,000 a year, It's just a slap in the face. It's just a slap in the face to smart people. It really is. Veterans, people that are, that it's just like, how do smart people get through to logic? How do you get through? I tried. And then so I was just, go look at my water waste. Go look at my waste. And my first video is like me talking, like, what am I supposed to do? And then so I just quit asking, and I have been getting my toilet, water to flush the toilet, pour down the toilet, flush the toilet from the stream that I'm blessed to live next to, and I get my water every 2 days in a 5-gallon jug. I just work around them, and other people are going to learn how to do that too. And I'm in IT too, I got so many ideas to freaking circumvent their fucking broken ass shit, because they haven't ever done anything, and now cities are blowing up because of the deal in stockpiles and this and that, And now gas lines are going to start rupturing, and because it's been years and years and they ain't been replacing it. So what do you think is going to happen with these fittings when, on a hot day? Pressure conditions just right? I haven't had gas in 3 years. I ain't really worried about it where I live. I don't really like dealing with gas much. I mean, I will, but I just, leaks and fittings break, and I prefer electric. Just because if power goes out, I can do solar, or I can get a freaking gas generator and power my, or I'll just cook on a fire. I don't even need that, it doesn't matter. I've been so poor and so destitute. That's why I set myself up in life to learn all the shit I could learn, because I knew that freaking all the systems that I was a part of was gonna fail, because they just all quit doing the work, and they just kept paying themselves. And then, but who's doing the work? If the, like, that's why California burns down every year, is because the freaking linemen pay themselves $120,000 a year, but are they going out and doing the work? No, they're not. But they keep getting new fucking trucks, and they keep getting better gear, and they keep getting Carhartt shit, and body armor with logo, with their city and state and fucking, it's all marketing and branding. And so now there's going to be hell to pay. So, it doesn't really matter what you do. And oh shit, I've been running my mouth a long time. Oh my goodness. Hi Kathy. Hello Sherry Lynn. You're in Seattle. I went up to see Saguru last time I was in Seattle. No, I went up to see Tacoma. I was up to see Lady Gaga. I was sad about her. She's just a baby eating. Oh, all this stuff. And it doesn't help. Yeah, I clean up nice, man. I'm freaking... that's the thing, is I could use my shit. I could use my good looks and be a freaking Jezebel just like the rest of them. Yeah, I gotta be careful with my... That's why I can't do all that stuff. And that, I almost messaged you earlier, Aaron, because somebody popped into my IM. Why is it these fucking dudes, like, in their 60s and shit, and they're like, hey, beautiful. Do I fucking look like somebody that's gonna be like, what's up, stud? What the... I mean, really? Come on, really? Do I look like somebody that... I mean, does anybody respond to that? Hey, beautiful? Really? Because I can think of a lot more things than I am than beautiful, and right now, that ain't one of them. Usually I have great hair, but right now, no. But I'm just like, you don't go at people like that. You don't know if I'm not single. You don't know if I'm not married. You're just gonna... I don't go at people like that, hey, I'll tell someone that I think that they're really... I find them very attractive. I don't mean no disrespect either. And I don't do that hardly at all, ever. Because usually in my mind, other people are just somebody else. Like, I only got one same flame. I just don't know who she is yet. I know that she's out there. I'm not the one. I'm not the only one. Which is funny because Not the One Collective Soul is playing in my ear right now. Synchronicity! There was a brawl in Anaheim. The Cambria Hotel, like 1,600 people. People are freaking going crazy. Let's just go downtown, meet, and freaking kick this. That's what people are doing. That's what it seems like a good idea. That's what's fun. God, too much Adderall and really all those pharmaceuticals and opioids and stuff like that. It puts people in a spun up. And just think about what could be done if they use that energy to be constructive. But instead, it's like the olden days, rumbles, like the greasers and the old gangs. I mean, really? This is where we're back to? With the free will that people have? This is, well, okay, alright, so, I don't know, I hope I don't get caught up in one of those things. God, I'm getting too old to freaking fight, man. And it's funny, I listen to Michael, Peace Dealer, and stuff like that. He gets so fired up, and he's like, But, dude, there's this... it's not that I won't. I'm just like, God, do I have to? But, because there's this dude... I think he was a Vietnam vet. And the kid, was like, I'm gonna kick your ass, old man. Was, dancing around him. And the dude's like, I'm gonna hurt ya. I think that was Drink the Kool-Aid, too. And the kid was showboating and stuff. And the old dude just one... Because people, it don't take much. And people don't get it. How easy it is to hurt a human being. And the remorse that instantly comes if you got a spirit. Because you couldn't control yourself because people step in their ego and they can't control themselves, and that's what the whole world's going to see right now. That's what it's breaking down to. I just know I only put my hands on people to defend myself. I'm not a first puncher. But I talk a lot of shit, though. I mean, or I don't even talk shit. I just speak in terms of displaying their behavior as I understand it. And people get so fucking spent up, it makes them crazy when they hear. It's like you know, like if like a drunk person watches them on video, how uncomfortable that can make them when they see that what they are capable of doing when their spirit is gone and they are all ego and how they act. People are just sloppy, just oh, the grossities that I've done in my ego, just disgusting. Things I'm not proud of. And there's people that have done way worse, way worse, and they've done it stone cold sober, and they do it, and they've been and they're being found out. They're being found out. Brr! Let that be a lesson to you. You sell your soul, you freaking go to hell. So now people are getting to go to hell. I ain't feel so bad about it. I don't know who they think they are. I mean, hey, if you're gonna be a freaking, you love Satan, you want to, all right. You step to the carpet and then you talk about how much you, and then you be accountable for all the freaking, all the kids you did, all the kids you harmed, and all. You know what's disgusting? Where are all the people who say, no, this ain't okay? I was always one of them. See, that's the thing, is they know who the good guys are. So they lock you out because they know you got a big mouth and they know you blab. That's why my brother doesn't even speak to me. I just speak in terms, in facts, in life. Like a witness as I understand things. As an observer. I don't put any emotion onto it. Any emotion that I put onto somebody else's behavior, that's my emotion. If somebody acts a way that pisses me off, that's because it's something in me that I don't like. When you get to that level, game over. The uncountables and the unaccountables. The Siths and the, Jedis. The dark and the light. It's easy to see. It's easy to see who sold their soul. It's easy. Easy. I could sell my soul every day. I could answer that old dude back. Hey dude, what's up? How much for a, I've had people ask me for freaking nudie pictures and stuff like that. I don't even know who they think they're talking to, honestly. Just because I was born on the same day as Jenna Jameson. I'm not her aspects. I'm all the aspects of what she would have been if she wouldn't have made the choices that she made, But her mom died when she was young, so I'm the opposite aspects. See, I still have, I took a $70,000 pay cut to be a stay-at-home daughter, and I keep coming up with all these ideas. I'm just looking for the people that want to work with me, that I in turn want to work with too, because people are falling out of integrity. They really are. I have a lot of things to offer. I got a lot of stuff to bring to the table. I ain't tripping. It'll happen. I've been running my mouth for too long now. I'm going to go watch me some Umbrella Academy, get sucked into that. Maybe have another cookie. Hope you have a rad evening. Peace.